Great opportunity if you want to live abroad, travel, see the world, do something that you can earn money while you're doing it.
So are the rumors true? Because a lot of people say they prefer living in the South versus the North. So what made you decide to do it? Why did you take the plunge?
Yeah.
So what's the expected salary? What's to be expected to earn here? Okay, so what's the process of getting started? Okay, so speaking about all this teaching in Asia, I have Alex here, who's actually the owner of the TEFL company that I took to get TEFL certified to teach English here in Asia. So Alex, how long have you been in Asia?
So it's almost 9 years now total, and about 7 of those have been here in Vietnam.
Oh, it's been 7 years here, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. Where were you before Vietnam?
So I originally went to go teach English in South Korea, and I lived there for over a year, and then I moved out to Southeast Asia, and then kind of settled in Vietnam.
Nice. Then what was the first city that you came to in Vietnam?
So I was actually up in Hanoi for about 8 months, and then I moved down here to Ho Chi Minh City, where I've spent most of my time, and I also lived in Da Nang for about a year and a half.
So are the rumors true? Because a lot of people say they prefer living in the South versus the North. Do you find it pretty much the same living up there?
I mean, it's different. The North is maybe a bit more cultural. I enjoyed it there, but I found the expat community was a bit more like insulated there versus here in Ho Chi Minh City. Especially in the city, there's like a lot of foreigners, but also locals, and a lot more kind of mingling. This is a bit more open city, I find, here in Ho Chi Minh City.
People a little more laid back here, would you say?
I'd say a bit more laid back, and some people love it up in the north. I personally have liked it a bit more here in the south, but also Hanoi is an amazing city. It's great too.
How long were you teaching before you decided to do your own company?
Yeah, so a few years. So in total, probably over 2 years of teaching. And then, yeah, started Ninja Teacher to actually help other people move to Vietnam and start teaching here, offering TEFL courses and basically helping people with that whole process of moving abroad and starting to teach English.
Were you teaching back in South Africa before you came?
No, so I was like many people. I just took a TEFL course and then moved out to Asia to start teaching English. Had a degree in psychology, so unrelated subject.
So what made you decide to do it? Why did you take the plunge?
I just knew I wanted to travel after like going to Europe during university for a short trip there. I just realized that this is awesome. I wanted to find a way that I could finance living abroad and live in a new country, and I saw teaching English as an opportunity to do it.
So real quick, what's one of your favorite countries you visited? I'm sure there's a lot. What's one of them?
Yeah, well, I think I've been to like 25 countries now in total. Let me think. Most recently, I went to Bali, Indonesia, and I really liked that. Bali's got its pros and cons. It's like obviously got a huge amount of hype on Instagram, but I like surfing, so the surfing in Bali is amazing, and there's like these beautiful beaches, and the food there's great. So I really enjoyed it, although quite touristy as well.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's nice though, right? Because you can go out into like the forest or the jungle. It's got a lot of parts of the island.
Yeah, it does.
So can you tell us a little bit about TEFL Academy though? TEFL certification company, yeah?
Yeah, so Ninja Teacher is a TEFL certification company. We run an online TEFL course as well as an in-classroom TEFL course here in Ho Chi Minh City. And basically it's to get you prepared to be an English teacher, get that certification that will help you to get a job teaching English in Vietnam or other countries around the world.
And do you recommend people come here and do the in-person training or the online? What do you think?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say if you can afford it, the in-person course is a good option. You do have to put in more of an investment, but it really does give you like that opportunity to get the practical experience, go out into real schools and practice. It's kind of like riding or driving a car, like reading the manual for a car versus taking driving lessons, you know. I would say, it is more of an investment, but if possible, it's a good option. Otherwise, the online course is a good way to go too, because it does have a lot of video training and it has live online sessions via Zoom. So it gets you a lot of the same information, but if possible, coming into the country, we also give you that extra support of like meeting other people on the course and stuff like that. And helping you with that whole process. It is a good way to go.
I did online, and when I came here, I came in to check in, and there was an in-person group there. And coincidentally, I went and had lunch with them, and man, it was so nice. I connected with them, you know, we just hit it off right away. Everyone just plopped in a new country, so it was nice. And I got a few phone numbers. I would recommend the in-person one more too, because it's like you said, it's like reading a manual, you know, and then like the first couple months you're just like, you know, you're like cutting your teeth, I guess you could say, in a way. So what's the expected salary? What's to be expected to earn here?
So a lot of schools pay per hour for the number of teaching hours that you teach. So it will depend on the exact number of hours that you get from your school. People, you know, making between $1,400 and $2,000 per month is quite reasonable to expect, and that's teaching like maybe 18 to 25 teaching hours per week. We're speaking a little bit about in your video. It's quite a full workload if you're teaching over 20 hours per week, but yeah, still you know, have enough time to have a, you know, good balance of personal time as well as work time.
And then how does that coincide with cost of living here? I mean, how do you think they fare against each other?
Yeah, so I mean, I've found that I could live comfortably on $1,000 or less here. I'm not sure how have you found that with cost of living?
So I actually just made a video about my exact cost of living.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and it was $970 a month.
Okay,
and
there you go.
And that's a lot of eating out. That's always eating out. If you cook at home, that can be easily cut down a lot.
Right, yeah. So that's I think that's kind of common in that range around there. And then yeah, compared to that salary that you can earn, it's pretty good living cost to salary ratio.
Is there more opportunities that will spring up from people that come here to teach English? It seems like a lot of people initially come here to teach English and find themselves in some kind of other industry, or maybe even creating their own business or something.
Yeah, I think so. I think what a lot of people do is they want to teach for a while, and then they see that there's something else that they want to do, maybe start doing that on the side, and then transition into that fully, whether that's like some other kind of online work or even starting a business here like I did. Also working your way up within teaching in the industry. I think Vietnam particularly is a place in Asia that there's opportunity for that, whereas some other countries like South Korea, where I was before, there's no getting past just being an English teacher. Here you can go into management, academic management, curriculum development. There's kind of opportunities to progress within teaching, and then you can also become a licensed teacher down the line if you want to stay in the career of teaching. So yeah, there's lots of different routes people go once they've come out here.
I definitely agree. There's a lot of private and international schools here, and it seems like that's kind of the end goal for, not the end goal, but that's the next stepping stone for a lot of teachers here. They pay sometimes so high, you know. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, so a lot of people who really like the teaching transition from teaching ESL into becoming an international school teacher. Usually that requires about 2 years of experience, and then getting your teaching license, whether that's a QTS, qualified teacher status, or a teaching license in the US, for example. And then that's usually like a year-long study. So maybe people like do that while they're teaching here, or go back home, do it, and then come out again. And then you can get an international school job, which will be like, yeah, high salaries, and can be a good way to teach in different countries as well if you want to move on from Vietnam.
Okay, so what's the process of getting started on taking your TEFL?
I mean, that's the primary thing, is getting your TEFL. That just depends whether you do it online before you leave and then you come out here and search for jobs, or if you want to come do your TEFL here and then get a job afterwards. One thing to note is it's way easier to get a job once you're in the country than just trying to apply for jobs while you're abroad. Yeah. I know it can be daunting, but like, you just got to come here and then apply for jobs, because when schools see that you're in the country, they're way more likely to hire you than if you're in your home countries. Yeah, if you came through like our in-class TEFL course, for example, like we'd help you arrive here, get settled in, take the training, and then find a job after that. Otherwise, if you want to do an online course, then you can finish that at home and then, you know, come out and apply for jobs when you're here.
So I have a link in the description. You can click on that and it'll bring you right to the website and explain everything else to you. Is there any final thoughts that you would like to say, or maybe a couple tips to give to people?
Yeah, so we were chatting about this previously, but I think that it's a great opportunity if you want to live abroad, travel, see the world, do something that you can earn money while you're doing it. And I think that teaching is a great opportunity. I was really happy with my decision to move abroad and start teaching English, and then, you know, I've clearly liked it here and wanted to stay, and that's why we enjoy helping other people move to Vietnam to start teaching English, or other countries around the world. So yeah, I think it's a great thing to do, and I would recommend it.
Yeah, okay. Alrighty, okay, thank you, Alex.